Well, here I am, after a whole heap of misadventures with this thing. I'm hoping it's now actually finally working, although no guarantees. I've been visiting youtube.com a fair bit recently, and I've really wanted to possibly add my own sort of production or group of productions, I'm not exactly sure which, to it. I used to really want to get into all of this sort of thing actually. Certainly 3D animation in particular. I've got a copy of 3D Studio Max somewhere that I've got to find. I've also really been trying to get into The Sims 2 recently because I think it's sims99.com. A lot of people have been doing some pretty cool stuff actually, music videos, soap operas and that sort of thing, and uploading them. Of course, probably the most famous of all of them was done by Rooster Teeth Productions. They did a series a while back called The Strangerhood, which most of you have probably heard of. As you can probably tell from my accent, I'm an Australian. Well, yeah, physically anyway. I mean, I spend most of my time online, but of course I haven't really felt terribly patriotic since the 80s, I'll have to admit, because a lot's changed over here sort of in the last 20 years or so. But anyway, I mean, that seems to be happening everywhere, and to be honest, I mean, I feel as though it is still a fairly good place to live. I mean, we haven't had tsunamis or volcanic eruptions or earthquakes or any of the other horrible stuff that's been happening everywhere in the past few years, or everywhere else, I should say, so got to be grateful for something. I'm actually feeling a lot better now that I've been able to start doing this. You know, I think one of the major problems that I've had recently is just the fact that I haven't been able to really talk, well, I guess, to anyone about anything, or it's sort of felt like that. And, you know, now that I can use this, I mean, at least, hey, I can blather away at the screen, and whoever might be gullible enough to download this. But, anyway, that brought a smile to my face. Well, I really can't believe some of the stuff that people look at. I mean, as I said in one of my other tests of this, there was a guy in New York that I was reading about online recently who was actually selling rubbish from New York, if you can believe that. It was actually McDonald's food packaging, empty Coke cups and all of that sort of stuff. Apparently it was just the idea of owning New York rubbish for a particular day. I guess they thought, you know, that they were owning a piece of New York's history or something subjective and emotional like that. But anyway, some people seem to have come up with the most amazing ideas in terms of how to sell things. I've also come across some really, really awesome videos on YouTube. I was actually being a bit negative then, so I'm trying to be a bit more positive now. There was some stuff done by a couple of guys called Smosh, which was pretty funny. There was also this really awesome music video, I don't know whether it was from YouTube or somewhere else, which involved this woman having an out-of-body experience. I can't remember what the URL for that is off the top of my head, but if anyone asks, if I get any messages on my user page, I'll put a link to it there. So yeah, I have been finding some other really cool stuff. There was another video someone else put together which really blew me away about the history of all the different Quake games, and it was synchronised to some music from Quake 2, and it actually had some slow motion effects and some other really, really awesome stuff in it. So people have actually been making music videos, recording themselves from World of Warcraft, which is interesting. I haven't actually played World of Warcraft yet. Sort of a bit worried about getting immersed into in a massively multiplayer game, you know, because sort of worried that it just looks that awesome. I'd be worried that if I went into it, I'd sort of never be seen again. But anyway, maybe it's exactly what I need. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now and possibly record another one. I want to keep these reasonably small if I can, and that way, the size at least won't put people off. But this is awesome. I just can't believe, look at this, everyone is now able to do what not so long ago was only restricted to TV stations. And now anyone and everyone who has a computer, they can put something up and it can be broadcast to anyone. I think that's the single main aspect of this that I'm totally blown away about. I just can't get over it. It's so exciting. It really is. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now and possibly start recording the next one.